going in just on this LeBron James nonsense and put my 2 cents in. He's kind of like, if you've ever had somebody, I'll even use myself as an example, who's past their prime as a mechanic. Since I've gotten injured, I might have been one of the top mechanics in the country, which I was. That's not a brag or me patting myself on the back. That's just a cold hard fact. But after getting injured, getting hurt, I'm not the best mechanic anymore. I'm not top 10% of the country anymore. I realize that there's younger guys out there. We hope, for the most part, that we're able to fill in that void, that gap that individuals like myself have left behind. Same with LeBron. There's people that have come and taken over that crown, that title, that face, that shine, that limelight, that celebrity. Whether or not you're still a draw because you're in LA, that's regardless and irrelevant. The fact is, nobody is going to build a franchise around somebody that's at the end of their career, going into 23 seasons or whatnot, 41 years old at the end of the year. It's nothing that's too hard to figure out. We're not splitting atoms here. This isn't quadratic equations. It's not brain surgery. It's nothing like that at all. It's pretty simple. There's somebody else that's going to take your spot. This happens to everybody, period. But if you wanted to prolong your legacy, you shouldn't have been greedy and taking a pay cut. Still got paid plenty of money, but having talent around where you could actually compete and make something of this next season coming up and had a future with the Lakers. Because the Lakers, they're going to be done with you. That writing's on the wall. LeBron, you can't be number one team guy and talk about team mentality and team this, and then you get a new teammate, even though it's DeAndre Ayton, and not giving him any kind of welcome, any kind of nothing, just because it's pouting. You can't be like that. That's the way that you've always been, and that's the way that you always want to pout and complain. You remind me of like a bitter ex-girlfriend. Just, enough's enough. The antics, the nonsense, that's why I don't respect you. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on you and make shows about you and sit here and knock you, even though I can. But that's not where I want to go. That's not what I want to do. I don't have a show that revolves around LeBron James as an underwhelming career over 23 years. Only 6 All-NBA, all defensive teams, 5 of them being first team, 23 seasons. Stop. When did you even have your time? When did you dominate the league? When the Spurs were winning championships? When the Lakers were winning championships? When the Warriors were winning championships? You've got 4 championships to your name in a course of 23 years. That's underwhelming. I understand you had a lot of pressure coming out of high school. They've been shoving your name, your face, and everything else since you were a young man. It's a lot to live up to. I understand that. But at the same time, listen, you didn't live up to it. Underwhelming. You're Karl Malone with rings. You don't have a bag. You're not a team player as you claim to be. You're a hypocrite. And I'll call you out on it every chance I get. I've been watching basketball, whether it be NBA or otherwise, since I came to this country. And I've been here for, 46, 47 years. I've been watching basketball ever since I can remember being a young kid. First thing I was doing was watching basketball and then participating. I didn't play organized basketball in team sports. I played football, and I did individual sports like wrestling and boxing. My son, he's the basketball guy. He's the one who balls. And, I wish him nothing but the best. But he also has a bright future ahead of him. I'm not telling you he's going to be in the NBA or NCAA Division I or anything like that, but kid's got talent. But back to LeBron, like I said, you can't sit here and complain that the Lakers aren't doing this or doing that for you, and then try to take away from the entirety of the rest of the NBA and basketball as a whole to try to get that spotlight back on you. That's just some narcissistic shit right there. It checks off every box of a narcissist. And that's exactly the way you portray yourself and the way you come off, and that's just the way you've been throughout the course of your career. As far as I'm concerned, I've been watching you. I've seen you play. You got excuses, and then you've got other people that you like to throw under the bus, and that's the way your career's been. That's what they think about you. That's how they're going to remember you. The longer you play, the worse it's going to get. I don't know why you can't understand that, why that's so difficult for you to put piece together, but that's the part of the problem. You should just stick to one job, being a basketball player, not try to reorganize rosters or tell team owners and executives, general managers, coaches how to do their job. You worry about what your job is, and that's to be on the court, to score points, to play defense. That's your job. That's all your job is. The Lakers did a lot for you, more than any franchise I've seen cater to another individual, between building a roster around you when they shouldn't have. They listened to you and got players that they shouldn't have gotten, with very few exceptions. They let go of players that they should have kept around because of you. They got other players because of you, like little Bronny, even though I'm not going to get on him, but he shouldn't be in the NBA. Like I said, playing in the G League, Summer League, and still not being able to really be all that impressive and stand out doesn't say much about you. You didn't do too bad against the Mavericks, but you didn't blow anybody's socks off either, so keep that in mind and keep that in consideration. It's just something that's a fact. I watched the game. I've been watching the games. The only reason I'm not watching them right now is I had to take a break so I can go get some medication. But aside from that, like I said, LeBron and the Lakers and their tensions shouldn't be the storyline of the summer of the NBA or anything else. You got plenty of other players that you could talk about that are current players in the NBA that are well worth discussing, much more so than LeBron James. That's a fact. And if you don't realize that, then you haven't watched enough ball to understand what you're seeing. And if you think LeBron's that guy, the greatest player ever, then you don't know basketball, or you've been manipulated and lied to by the media enough to where you start believing those lies. The next thing you know, they become your truth, even though they're based on a false narrative. A house of cards falls pretty easy, you know what I'm saying? But money in the world, got plenty of accolades. There's no reason for him to be greedy. Kobe never left any money on the table, but Kobe also didn't ask and get 50 plus million in his last year. He got half of that, but Kobe's a whole nother animal. I don't even want to put the two of them in the same conversation. You want to compare LeBron to somebody, like I said, Karl Malone without the rings. That's LeBron James. Couple dribbles, then get your steps in, drive to the basket. Over the years, you've developed a bit of a jump shot, kind of a mid-range and unreliable three-point game. You don't play defense. You don't play both ends of the court. You don't demonstrate, in my opinion, what a true champion, what a true leader should do each and every game, each and every season, without excuse. The greats don't make excuses. They just come back and let their game do the talking. Nobody calls themselves the greatest. Nobody crowns himself a king. You're not Napoleon over here trying to be Caesar. All right? Cut it out. Just stop it. Be thankful that you've had a long, relatively injury-free career, no major injuries, or no real injuries that you've ever been honest about, and hope for the best as far as your son and your other son go. I don't get on them a whole lot because, like I said, I'm not here to pick on kids. They're still learning. They've got a lot to learn and develop. A guy like you needs to be out there trying to coach and do things to that next level of that next chapter, if you will, of your career, which should, at this point, be nothing more than saying goodbye and getting into something else. Go play some pickup ball. You know what I'm saying? Go to Rucker out in New York. Play some ball with them cats. You know, spend time with family, do your family thing. If you want to be involved with franchises and basketball, start your own. You got the money. Put a little league together like Ice Cube and the Big Three. You got options. Don't limit yourself, LeBron, but don't try to lie to yourself either. Try to say that you are the best player in the world, that you're the greatest player ever, and that you're still that guy, because you were never that guy, and you're not that guy now. So it's time to go, LeBron. Quit acting like a lunatic. Quit exposing yourself as a crybaby, narcissist. Pick your lumps and move on. That's simple. Guys, thanks for joining me again. I'm going to cut this up once I get back to the house. And I wish you all nothing but the best. Peace, love. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. Love you all. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, notification. It means a lot to me. You guys have really made a big difference in this channel's growth, and I want to keep it going, building this community up. So thank you all once again. We'll talk again soon. Peace.